So here we are back with step 5 in the 7-step program, the Machino Optimal Living Program, 7 steps to a healthy, fit, age-resistant body, and now in its second edition. So in step 5, now that you've learned the 2-staple system and started to apply it that you learned in step 4, in step 5 I want to bring your attention to something else, and that is that all of that works fine, but at age 40 things do change a little bit in your body. And so in step 5 we're going to talk about anti-aging supplements that you need to be thinking about after the age of 40 and how you stage them in based on your age and whether you're a man or a woman. So here's what happens at age 40 that's quite remarkable. That by age 40, nature assumes that you will have lived long enough to procreate the species. You mated with somebody, children came along, and your kids got older and you got older, your kids got older and you got older, your kids got older and you got older. Well, by the time you're 40 or 45 years old, nature assumes that soon your children are going to be self-sufficient, and basically you've served your purpose on the planet. You procreated the species, and now nature doesn't really need you anymore. And so built into our aging clock at around age 40 or 45, little time bombs start to go off to set the stage for decline, decay, and degeneration, so there will be death. And so we know that the aging process sort of ticks away, and no one could really define what was going on. But in the last 25 or 30 years, anti-aging researchers have discovered what those little time bombs look like in the aging clock. And just as importantly, we've learned that by putting certain natural agents back into the body as supplements at specific points in our timeline, you can combat many of those age-related time bombs and maintain a more highly functional body and mind for a much longer period of time. So if that appeals to you, then Chapter 5 is going to be highly illuminating for you. So I'll give you a couple of examples. At age 40, your body stops making optimal amounts of a nutrient called coenzyme Q10. It's like a vitamin-like substance. As your body makes less CoQ10, your tissues can't make the amount of energy they normally have available, and so it sets the stage for congestive heart failure and high blood pressure and Parkinson's disease and other illnesses. The immune system gets weaker. The brain can't work as well. Studies have shown that if you put CoQ10 back in with hawthorn at specific dosages, you can optimize cellular energy again and help combat these things. At age 45, your body's immune system and detoxification enzyme systems start to become less efficient, and so your risk of cancer increases. Your immune system's not as strong. You can't fight infections as well. There are certain nutrients that can bring your immune system and your detoxification levels back to a more optimal level of functioning. So we discuss that in this particular chapter, step 5. In the male prostate gland, it starts to enlarge as men get older. We know that. But there's a reason why that happens, and there are certain nutrients that can block that from happening, and we think also reduce the likelihood that prostate cancer will develop as well. 1 in 9 men develops prostate cancer. So men have to learn how to protect their prostate after the age of 40. At age 45, the body doesn't make as much glucosamine, and so we're more prone to arthritic problems in our joints. So I explain how glucosamine participates in cartilage production to help maintain healthy joints over your lifetime, so you ward off degenerative changes in your joints along with some natural anti-inflammatories. All really key points to understand. Now if you're a woman, you know at age 50, menopause starts to show up. That's part of the aging clock for women. But there are some natural agents that can actually counter menopausal symptoms and create a much better feeling of well-being without having to use any kinds of synthetic drugs. For about 85% of women, certain combinations of natural agents work extremely well and also help to support bone density as well, so osteoporosis doesn't occur. At age 55, the brain can't make the memory chemical that we had when we were younger, and so our memory starts to slip away. There are certain nutrients that go into the brain that help to boost the brain's ability to make the memory chemical that helps to maintain memory even as we get older. So putting those nutrients in after the age of 55 is very important. I also discuss in step 5 the supplement melatonin, for those of you who are interested in melatonin, as well as some of these more cutting-edge supplements like growth hormone secretagogues that help to boost the body's natural release of growth hormone to try to keep your bones stronger and your muscles stronger and keep you a little more youthful as you grow older. So I'll show you where you can find the rest of that research. But the reality is that after the age of 40, little time bombs go off, the body stops making some very key nutrients, and by putting them back in at specific points in our timeline, we see from studies that we can maintain a more highly functional body and mind for the longest period of time. And so if you're looking for that kind of quality of life, then step 5 of the book is very, very important for you to understand as I discuss anti-aging supplements. So take a look at it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you put it into practice.